Hey y'all, so I wanted to do a really quick video explaining my experience with Kenra hair color. So I've been trying out different brands again, listening to what people want. And again, this light is kind of odd, but my hair is not this shade of red that it's showing. It's actually a bit more on the violety side, more of a true red. It looks slightly warmer, but that is not quite the case. So right off the bat with Kenra hair color, the first thing I know is that they market themselves as having all these benefits and they market their developers being special. Okay, peroxide's peroxide. However, that being said, I tried out the Kenra 30 volume and I did 5VR hair color straight up on my regrowth. Kind of hard to see because it's been a while, but right up here where I did the regrowth, and I also have footage on here of when I did it right after. You can see right there it's more vibrant, but it only looks better when I did the overlay with the Demi permanent color. So I used Kenra 5VR straight up in my regrowth, and did it work? Yes, but was it the result I wanted? No. And what I mean by that, I was able to get a Kenra swatch book. So the one thing I'll say with Kenra swatch book, it gives you all the technical information that you all need to do the color. The downside is that the swatches themselves are not that big. So the book is, small in size, gives you all your technical stuff, and they have a lot of tones that are unique. They have a 10B, which is like a brown or brown beige, and that is actually pretty cool because I've used that to cover gray and get a really nice result without being over ashed. The other thing I'll say with Kenra hair color is it is not pure tone, so if you have a client that has white hair and you throw the color on, it will turn off tone and look horrible. It could potentially come out pink. So with that being said, I used this shade right here. .5VR, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that one right there, if you can see that, it looks purpley and like nice and purple. It does not come out anything like that. Let me see if I'll take this out of the ring. Which will be that one there. My hair is nothing like this. What I did notice is that the 5VR ended up more like an RV. It had a slightly warm tone to it, but I think it was just my imagination. What I did do that helped out a lot is I actually took purple shampoo from Tuto, their violet shampoo, rinsed my hair, and I left the violet on for a few minutes, and it looked perfect after that. So just be in mind that even though it shows like really dark colors, they're not going to come out like that. It actually might come out a lot lighter. Part of that could be because I have gray hair, and in that case I probably would want to mix it with a red neutral. And take a look at this. Their reds, a regular R series in Kenra, is actually cool toned. It's not warm. So right here are the reds, and I'll do a swatch video at some point, but all these are reds, and these right here are all very cool toned. Like this is like cherry red, this is like plum. The RRs are extremely red, and be warned, not only are they like Ronald McDonald red, but they are super vibrant when you process them. And it looks scary. Even the regular VR, it looked terrifying. Even more scary was the Demi. I used this one right here, the 6rr, and I know it looks like super red in the swatch. My hair is nowhere near as red as that. So again, the swatches are not that accurate. So I just want to tell people, be mindful of that when you're picking out a swatch. It's not always going to come out the way you think it is. When I mixed the red, I looked at it and I'm like, this can't be the right shade. The Demi color is also extremely loose, so you want to apply it with a color bottle. You do not want to take the Demi and apply it with a bowl and brush. I tried doing that and it was difficult. I'm experienced, I'm a professional, so I know how to do that, but for the regular person who's getting this off like eBay or something, get a color bottle. Get you a color bottle, a color scale, mix it with a color scale, and you have the ability to do a 1:2 ratio or a 1:1 ratio with the Demi. My own personal opinion is I like a better deposit with reds. You're better off doing a 1:1 ratio. That way you deposit as much pigment as possible, so when it fades out, it lasts longer and it fades a lot less. If you do a 1:2 ratio, it will give you more of a Demi-translucent look. That tends to be more glazy. That tends to be more suitable for blondes. I'm just saying that right there. Or if your hair is very porous and you know it's going to pull deep, do that, and that way your hair color will be a little bit lighter. Now my other critique with Kenra, so Some of the shades, like my favorite combo is to use 1.5 of 5R and then 1/4 of 5VR, so I'm gonna do that for my next hair color. And I love the 5R shade, it's wonderful, it's a true like violet, you get a nice purpley red from it. So what I will say with that one is make sure when you are using the Kenra red that you are aware that reds are gonna look different on everyone, but also know that you're not always gonna be able to refresh it. And what I mean by that is they do not always have demi-permanents in every shade. So what I mean right over here is it shows you P and D. 4RR says P and D, that means you have a permanent 4RR and a demi-permanent. Certain shades like 7RR, 5R, and 7R don't have a demi-permanent shade, they only have permanent. Now what you can do is do my method where I take, and I'll show you all that in another video, but I take conditioner, I take a 9-volume developer or 8-volume developer, I mix it with the permanent hair color, I add the conditioner to it, and that way I actually make that permanent hair color a demi-permanent hair color that evaporates cleanly, and I actually prefer that better compared to a demi. Most demi colors contain MEA. I am not a fan of MEA, the ammonia-free ingredient. It tends to rough hair up. I will say this though, Kenra's demi-permanent hair color, my hair feels amazing, it feels shiny and soft. It really brought out my natural curl and wave. I think it's moisture based. My hair did not feel dry after it. It didn't feel brittle. It felt wonderful. And that was a first I've ever had happen when using a demi-permanent color. So whatever Kenra is using in their demi color, it works wonderfully. Now the other thing that Kenra has, they have a lot of shades that are really interesting. And again, just to, because I'm saying this several times, some of these shades will not come out this way. You have to mix and match and you have to figure out how much gray. Now I probably should have used this shade right here, which was the 6RN. Now the 6RN, this is if you have a neutral, and the neutral in there helps to cover gray. That right there though, look at that colors, these two right here, they still look very red. So the color line that I normally use, I use two-tone, and I like two-tone the most, and chromatics, because you can throw it on white hair and it takes perfectly. You don't have to adjust anything, you don't have to mix and match any crazy ingredient, and I really like that. They also have boosters. My own honest opinion of their boosters, they don't really work that well. I've tried them before and it makes a mess, it stains the hair, it wastes product. What I have done when using a booster is I will not add any developer, and that's how I kind of got around that. So I found that if I took the booster, so if my client had red, I would mix, if I'm mixing 1 ounce color, 1 ounce of developer, I would add a few grams or half an ounce of the booster I want, and then just mix it that way and apply it. That way they have a full coverage with their color formula, and they have extra pigment with the booster. So when the hair fades, it looks better. Rapid toners. I have used the SV and I absolutely love it. The silver violet is wonderful for blondes. I'm actually going to try myself the copper red one, which kind of looks like a orange one, but it's just nice to kind of fill the hair in. If your hair is porous, if you've gotten a perm, if you used color remover, it can help to kind of refresh the hair. Kenra's Creatives, I have used them before and I really like them. They do come out metallic and they do last long. They come in some crazy shades. They do neon ones. Guy Tang, for those that don't know, he kind of did like a knockoff of Kenra called My Identity. Kenra also has these shades right here. These are 10-minute hair color shades. Again, they do not come out the way you think they are. This red right here will not be this red. It's actually more violet-y. Also know that with the 10-minute hair color, you mix them with 20 volume, and you can really do any 20 volume. Doesn't have to be their designated one, and you can leave it on longer, but just know that with 10 minutes it is going to be more alkaline, so not all the color will develop properly. And I found that if you just take regular hair color, you do it right, you apply it on clean, slightly damp hair. That's what I did with the demi and the permanent. Clean, slightly damp hair, I applied it. I processed the red hair color for 45 minutes, 30 volume. I also processed the demi color for 25 minutes and got this fantastic result. So Kenra 5RV and the 6RR, I absolutely like it. I think that their demis actually are a little bit more glossy compared to their permanent hair color, but with both color lines, my hair felt amazing and it looks absolutely wonderful. So y'all, tell me what you think down below. Have any of y'all used Kenra, and what did y'all think of it? Comment down below, let me know, and we'll have a great conversation about it. All right, y'all, I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend, and remember, wear your sunscreen. It is getting cold out there, and treat your hair well.